President Trump renewed his attacks on the Attorney General today. He tweeted this morning. Why didn't AG Sessions replace acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe, a Comey friend who was in charge of Clinton investigation, but got big dollars, $700,000, for his wife's political run from Hillary Clinton and her representatives? Drain the swamp. The tweet comes one day after the president publicly scolded his Attorney General.
I am disappointed in the Attorney General. He should not have recused himself. I want the Attorney General to be much tougher on the leaks from intelligence agencies. I told you before I'm very disappointed with the Attorney General, but we will see what happens. Time will tell. Time will tell.
Corey Lewandowski was Donald Trump's campaign manager during the 2016 Republican primaries. He was on the plane yesterday when the president went to speak in Ohio. And he joins us tonight. Corey, thanks a lot for coming on.
Great to be here.
So the president's disappointed that the Attorney General recused himself. Got it. What's the point of continuing to say that?
Well, I think what he's trying to tell the American people is the reason Jeff Sessions shouldn't have recused himself, for all other things, is he was part of the campaign. He saw there was no Russia involvement, there was no collusion, there was no coordination, so he really had no reason to recuse himself whatsoever.
Okay, well, Franz Ferdinand shouldn't have gone to Sarajevo that day, but he did. So, like, it happened. So what's the point of continuing to revisit this? It conveys the sense that the president is distracted from his priorities, which are making the country better, and that the staff is in disarray. And, like, I don't really see an upside to it.
Look, the president's priorities are very clear. He wants to get repeal and replace done of Obamacare. The vote yesterday with Mike Pence breaking that tie was critical to move that piece forward. It's a campaign pledge that he has promised to do, and he will deliver on. Now, you have to hold those U.S. senators accountable who for 7 years voted to replace or repeal Obamacare. And guess what? Now they're not voting for it anymore. It's hypocrisy at its finest. And what we need to do is get the agenda done. That's the most important thing.
I agree completely. And as you note correctly, I think it's really hard because a lot of Republicans in Washington don't agree with the agenda at all. It's a populist agenda. They're not populist. They don't want to do it. And so it takes an enormous intensity, focus, energy to get it done. And anything that distracts you from the task is counterproductive. Like, I don't know, spending 3 days in a row beating up on your own Attorney General.
Look, I don't disagree, Tucker, but this is very important. The president is completely focused on getting the legislative agenda done.
Right.
He needs to make sure Obamacare is done first, the repeal and replace. At minimum, repeal. We need to get a tax cut done. There's no question about that.
Right.
We need to repatriate the money from overseas so we can have more money here. We need to cut the corporate tax rate. These are the priorities of the president. Other priorities, infrastructure spending, $1 trillion moving forward. And then build the wall. It's something he's pledged to do, and we have to hold people accountable. And those elected officials who are serving in the Congress, who voted for these things in the past, have to be held accountable, and we have to get this agenda done immediately.
Well, you know who voted for these things are voters, like the American public, tens of millions of them. And if they are achieved, none of this will matter. The Russia nonsense, the fight with Sessions, those will be footnotes. Trump will be judged on those big things. And again, that's I suppose, my concern. So as a practical matter, do you think the Attorney General is going to stay?
Look, I think that's a question that only the president can give a definitive answer on. But I do think at the end of the day, the president and the Attorney General are going to have a good working relationship moving forward. Jeff Sessions has done some great work as it relates to MS-13 gangs, as it relates to the border crossing and the reduction of individuals coming across the border illegally. These are the priorities of the president. He's pledged that he's going to eradicate MS-13. We're going to stop the illegal border crossings. This is what Jeff is doing as the Attorney General. He's doing a good job on that. He needs to continue to focus on that and continue to move the conservative agenda from the Attorney General's perspective.
If he left, what do you think would happen? Like, who would replace him? Like, what would that look like if the Attorney General, and I understand the president's mad at him, but if Sessions today said, you know, I'm kind of sick of these tweets, I'm out of here, I'm going back to Mobile, what do you think would happen then? You know,
I think Jeff he's a patriot. I really do, and I think Jeff is going to continue to serve his country. I hope he continues to serve his country in the capacity as the Attorney General. Look, obviously, there are a number of potentially capable individuals who could serve in that capacity, but that being said, Jeff is the right man for the job right now, and I think he's going to stay in that job. Look, I don't have any inside knowledge of it, but I think Jeff Sessions is going to continue to serve as the Attorney General for as long as the president wants him to be the Attorney General.
I think you do have inside knowledge, and I think that's a sign that he will probably stay, and I think that's probably good because it's hard to see kind of what would happen next. Quickly, on health care, what's your best guess?
It has to get done. And this is where the president, who's a great closer, a great deal maker, is going to get those people to get, at minimum, the repeal done. If we get the repeal done, very important. If not, Obamacare implodes on itself, and the American people are devastated.
Corey Lewandowski, thanks a lot for that.
Thank you.
Good to see you.